Look who started Egghead today. He's been trying to catch up for about a year now. And I'ma tell you, bro, Egghead gotta be the best arc in One Piece so far. I can't think of a single issue to come from. One moment killed the entire story for a good portion of the One Piece community. And that moment I'm referring to is Gear 5 Bonney. For me to explain to you why this narrative decision is not as bad as people claim it to be, I must first ask you a very important question. Who is Bonney? In Egghead, Bonney gains access to all of Kuma's memories, and with that, we get the chance to look into the past of both Bonney and Kuma. Bonney gets a chance to watch Kuma and her mom grow, and not only that, she gets to see them fight against their own oppressors, the Celestial Dragons, the people who put them into slavery in the first place. During this backstory, we see Bonnie's mom Jenny get kidnapped by the Celestial Dragons, and years later she returns half alive with a baby in her hand. As she dies in front of Kuma, he puts her to rest and promises to raise her child. She gets to see as Kuma steps up and becomes her father. Not knowing how to do any of this beforehand, he learns for Bonney to become the greatest parent he could possibly be for her. It turns out Bonney has the same illness that killed Jenny. And on top of that, Bonney has a devil fruit power. The power to become any future that she can imagine. Kuma ends up making a deal with the world government to heal Bonney at the cost of being turned into a soulless cyborg to be cloned and used at the will of the government. That same government that killed his family, that took Jenny from him. Bonney is able to feel Kuma's pain as he's stripped away of his humanity slowly each and every single day for the sake of her. And as all this is happening, she watches him beg for freedom, and not for himself, but for her, for his daughter. And in those same memories, we see something, a legend whispered through time, a story of a man who laughed in the face of oppression, Nika, the sun god. And she sees that this is what her father believed in. This is what kept her father going when he was a kid. This is what kept his father's whole race going during a time where they didn't have freedom. All these things that her father taught her and showed her, this meant something. This had weight to it. So when Bonney awakens, when she laughs at the face of the same devil who tore her whole family apart, when she takes on the failed power that was forced upon her to become what the government feared the most, it isn't just a power-up. It's poetic justice. It's justice for Kuma, for herself, and for everyone in the One Piece world who was shackled by fate. So I ask you, who is Bonney? Bonney is a daughter who has lost everything. Bonney is a survivor who refused to fall to her knees. Bonney is a warrior who has fought for freedom. She isn't just a girl who cried to her father. She is a girl who's willing to step up and save her father. She isn't just Kuma's daughter. She is his will, his love, and his legacy in the flesh. She is Jewelry Bonney. Now, that being said, I also understand that Bonney herself is not the only problem that people had with her going Gear 5. The idea of Nika and Gear 5 itself is controversial in the first place. So I get it. When Gear 5 first came out, I definitely remember there being a split in the fan base on whether this is necessary or whether it's just perfect for the whole series. There was so many different opinions being thrown out there. So when we have somewhat of a controversy, like, Gear 5 Bonney, I can see where it can build from that. In most cases, if you have a problem with Gear 5 or the idea of Nika itself, it is understandable. I can get that. But one argument I cannot get behind or understand, and this argument also comes in place when we're talking about Gear 5 Bonney herself, and that's the argument of there being a lack of buildup. Now, before you kill me, I'm not saying that Gear 5 has a lot of buildup. That is not the hill I'm choosing to die on today, all right? I read One Piece back to front, and I know that Nika and the idea of Gear 5 was introduced all in one arc. Of course, there was foreshadowing for it, but those ideas were not brought to the forefront until we got to Wano. So no, I'm not on the side of, Gear 5 was foreshadowed and Nika was foreshadowed in chapter 1 of One Piece, because that's not the case. My thing is, in One Piece, I don't understand why Gear 5 is the form that people choose to slander for a lack of buildup. Now, stay with me now. Stay with me. What other transformation in One Piece has more build up than Gear 5? I'ma wait. If you thought long and hard, there is none. I don't know about you, but for me personally, I can't think of a single transformation in One Piece that has more build up than Gear 5. Every transformation in One Piece is explained, and some of them do have slight buildup, whether that be the hybrid forms of the Zoans or the Minks. There's foreshadowing for these transformations, but compared to Gear 5 and exclusively Bonney's transformation, there is not a single transformation that comes close to the buildup that Bonney has had. So what confuses me is, why is the one form based off of freedom have to have so many restrictions around it for the One Piece community to enjoy it? And I'm not saying you're wrong for not enjoying it. I'm just saying why I'm confused about it. Why does Bonney have to earn the form that represents being free when she is, in the plot, the representation of freedom? Bonney is not Nika. Luffy is not Nika. Luffy has the power of Nika, and Bonney makes a copy of that power because that's how she views freedom. That's how her father raised her to view freedom. There is no greater freedom to Bonney than being Nika. So when she transforms, it's not her being like, oh, I need a power boost. Let me transform into the most powerful thing I can think of. It's coming from her feeling like she has nothing and realizing the thing that she's been chasing is obtainable. That freedom that she has always wanted, she is able to have. When she sees Luffy turn Gear 5, she thinks, this is what I've always wanted. With the powers that have been given to me, let me become that. And she does. I'm not going to get into the power scaling of it all, because honestly, we have not seen enough from Bonney using this power for us to even put her on the scale. For the people saying that this changes reality and that she can just think of a future where she's the most powerful hockey woman ever to exist and one-shot everybody, I don't think that's the case. I don't think we were shown anything in Egghead to think that is the case, considering she only punched like 3 times and was tired. I have a feeling that there's a lot of limits on this power, more than Gear 5 itself. So I think we're cool on that, but if that's an argument you want to take, that's cool. But once again, I haven't seen enough for me to sit here and talk about it. When it comes to build up, I'm not going to say that Gear 5 is the most built up form ever to exist, but I will say the slander against it for it not being built up does not hold enough weight for me when I look at the totality of all of One Piece and all the transformation and all the plot relevant things. Gear 5 only adds more depth to the story as a whole. Ever since Egghead has ended, there seems to be a portion of the One Piece community that does not like the Nika-centered storylines. Comment down below. Tell me what you think about the storyline so far. Do you feel like the Nika plot and everything around it, does that benefit One Piece or does that make it worse? If you got to this point in the video, just know I really do appreciate the support. Feel free to like and subscribe. Comment down below your thoughts. And have a good day. Bye.